Hello, good evening, lovely, lovely people. I hope you're all well. And I truly hope that you've had a good weekend so far. I don't know if you live in the UK, but it's extremely gusty and windy, and we've got very, very strong blustery winds here, definitely. Very windy. So I hope wherever you are, you're safe and you're okay. Lovely to have you. Lovely, lovely to see you. What's with the weather tonight? Exactly, Shahram. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, isn't it? The weather that we're having in the UK right now, anyway. I don't know if this is as a result of what happened in Florida, maybe. Is this like a side effect of what we had in Florida, which was disastrous? It was horrible. But it's definitely very windy, very windy. I read on the news that they were saying they're asking people to tie down any kind of furniture that they have outside the house, right? So any kind of furniture, if you've got, for example, chairs or tables or small pieces of furniture you've got outside, please tie them down. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. You have so many Persian followers, I can see. Yes, yes, I'm very honored that a lot of people who are following me are from Iran. Yes, yes. Weather is dusty. I don't know about dusty. I don't know if it's dusty. Blustery, which means really windy. Blustery. Yeah. Tie down. شما کلاس آنلاین دارید؟ میشه خواهش کنم پاسخ سوالم رو بگید. yes کلاس آنلاین بله. و اگر دایرکت بدید من حتما جواب میدم. مرسی. اگر هنوز جواب ندادم ببخشید، متاسفانه کار خیلی زیاد بوده تا حالا، ولی حتما جواب میدم. Okay, blustery. It means really windy. Parwiz from Afghanistan. Lovely to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Very nice to have you. I think 100% Iranian. That's great. Why not? I know I've seen a couple of people from maybe India, some people from Afghanistan. I've seen a few other people from other nationalities as well. But you know what? All are welcome, definitely. A lot of the time I speak English, so it doesn't matter where you're actually from. Hopefully everybody will be able to understand. Okay. کجا بودید تا حالا؟ به خدا اینجا بودم. جایی نیستم. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm just really busy with work, unfortunately. I've got a few courses that I'm creating at the same time, and soon you will see them. Soon you will see them on the internet. Excuse me. But I'm going to try and be on as much as I can. Okay. I'm actually waiting for somebody. I'm waiting for somebody to let me know when she's online. Okay. I'm waiting for a very important person who's hopefully going to be my guest online, and I've been very excited to have her on. So if she is online right now, can you just let me know that you're online, and I can definitely oh, there we go. Is that right? Yes. Fantastic. Where are we? I'm really excited. This lovely person on tonight, and hopefully you'll be able to really enjoy this conversation as well. While she's just getting ready to join, if it's the first time that you're joining me, welcome to my page, welcome to tonight's session. What I do, anything that is new, that I'm talking about, and I think it's new for people, I'm going to write it down. This is being recorded. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to put it in the caption so you can all see when the video is ready. You can watch the video again on YouTube. It stays on YouTube, and you will have the caption as well. Any kind of words or anything that I use that you're not sure will be in the caption on YouTube. Okay. Right, let's try again. I think my Instagram has decided isn't able to join. I think my Instagram has decided to play with me tonight. You're going to have to bear with me, everybody. Right. I've had issues with this. I've tried restarting my phone. I don't know. Instagram doesn't really like me very much, I'm afraid. Right. So let's try again. You might have to send another request. To be honest, I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's playing up. It's playing up. My Instagram is playing up. Playing up. درست کار نمیکنه. I know you sent, oops, not that one. You sent a request. Yes, I know. Hi Atafer, thanks for joining. Lovely to have you. Right. It says you're declining, Mahi. It says you're declining. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if it's from my end or your end. Is it from my end or your end? برای دوستان دیگه که اینجا هستن نمیدونم مشکل از این طرفه یا از اون طرف. My end or your end? I don't know. Okay. All right. Anyway. Right. Someone's suggesting, Mahi, that you leave and come back. I don't know if that's going to help. If you leave and come back. Is it from my end or your end? Yes, Atafer, that's right. Let me leave and rejoin. Yes, please. I'm so sorry about this. So sorry. Okay. Excuse me. Someone says turn on your VPN. She's not actually in Iran. She's outside of Iran, so she shouldn't have that issue. I hope not. Anyway. Right. No, it's not letting me. No. It's going to be a bit of a problem because, like I say, I've been really excited to have this lovely person on board join me tonight, Mahi. Yeah, I did send the request again. I know, you did. I've accepted your request. Fingers crossed. We say tase nashe bazi nashe, kind of like third time lucky. Third time lucky. Yes.
Hello.
Thank you. Oh my God, you're so patient. You're so tolerant. Lovely. So I just want to introduce the lovely Mahi to everybody. She is the lovely, lovely person that I keep banging on about. I keep talking about. She is a teacher working with me. And we are here to try and help students learn English as much as possible. She's very kind. She's joining me tonight. And we're just going to have a very friendly chat. We haven't rehearsed or prepared this before. Just going to have a very friendly chat so you can see, how a natural conversation would go. Right. So how are you doing, Mahi?
Hi, thank you for your patience as well. I'm doing good. Great. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this live, and I hope my voice and everything is working perfectly.
It is. You're coming through loud and clear this end. I heard you weren't feeling very well a few days ago. Are you back on your feet now?
Yes, I was fending a bug. It's been going around. I think everyone been catching it and passing it through. So I've got it too. It affected my vocal cords. You can see I still do not have my perfect voice back, but yes, I'm on my way back to mend. I'm
Good.
trying to.
Lovely. What's the weather like? Because I was just talking to a few people here that we've got really gusty, really, really strong winds. Is there any sign of any wind or anything over there where you are?
Well, I live in Istanbul. It's always windy in Istanbul, but we had such a lovely day today. It was cold, like around 10, 11 degrees, but it was amazing, sunny and lovely. But we had a couple of days ago, we had such a stormy and gusty and strong winds all through the night, but not anymore. Thanks God.
Okay, yeah, thank God everything's calmed down. That's good, lovely.
Yeah.
Right. So outside of work, because I know you're really busy, obviously you've got lots and lots of different things that you're doing. Outside of work, any kind of hobbies, anything that you get up to if ever you have any free time?
Well, free time is a leisure these days for me, but I don't have that luxury, unfortunately, uh, because I'm preparing myself for my PhD defense actually next summer. I'm pretty much busy writing, preparing myself for some conferences and my house defense. So I'm either teaching or reading and writing. That's all I can do these days. And also, I'm studying German, so pretty busy.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Right. So you've either got a student cap on, or you've got a teacher cap on, or you've got a language learner
Exactly.
cap on. Oh my goodness. You're really, really busy.
Exactly. Exactly.
And here I am moaning, I've got
Exactly.
too much work to do. You've got loads more than I have. Oh my goodness. Right.
I'm sure you have enough on your plate as well. It's just a teacher's life, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. But no, you've got a lot going on. Well done. So, I don't think you have time that much for any kind of free time activity or anything, do you? It's a luxury for you to be able to just grab 5 minutes to yourself. Is that right?
Yes, that's true. But I think I was smart enough to pick to pick my favorite field as my course in university. I study fairy tales. So while I'm doing my projects, I'm actually having fun reading lots of fairy tales in different from different cultures. So I cannot really nag about it. It's leisure and work at the same time.
Right. I've got to ask this question. I can't leave it. So, who is, or which story is your favorite fairy tale story? I've got to know.
It's it's hard to say, but if I want to choose one, I would say The Wonderful Wizard of Oz is my favorite fairy tale, which is not an actually very old fairy tale. It's an American fairy tale. It's very rare to hear about it, but Wonderful Wizard of Oz is my favorite. I actually had the paper published about it a few years ago. And yes,
You know, I had a feeling it might go either for Cinderella or The Wizard of Oz. I had a feeling you might say Wizard of Oz
really
is definitely one of
amazing.
my favorite. How would we say Wizard of Oz in Farsi? What would the Farsi be?
فکر میکنم جادوگر شهر اوز ما تو
Okay.
فارسی بهش میگیم جادوگر شهر اوز
Thank you. Thank
آره
you.
و اون واندرفولش رو ترجمه نمی کنیم
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, thank you. Um, that is definitely one of my favorites as well. من اول که خواستم پست بذارم برای بقیه الان توضیح میدم. اول که پست گذاشتم توی اینستاگرام نوشته بودم که انگلیسی و فارسی. پس یه مقدار انگلیسی صحبت کردیم. الان اگه اشکال نداره یه ذره فارسی هم صحبت میکنیم. دوباره برمیگردیم به انگلیسی. Mahi, is that okay? Yeah, fantastic.
yes sure why not
Thank
of
you.
course
Yes, so you get to speak a bit of English, I get to speak a bit of Farsi. Yeah, it's fair that way.
fair deal it's only fair right
It's fair. Yes, این جادوگر شهر آز یکی از فیورت حرف زدن فارسی من هر یک کلمه در میون هر یک کلمه در میون انگلیسی I'm so sorry. این جادوگر شهر آز یکی از فیورت های من هست به خاطر اینکه نقطه ضعف هایی رو دارن کرکترهای توی این فیلم که نقطه ضعف های واقعی هست. مثلا یه شخصی که ترسو هست، شخصی که مثلا ممکنه اعتماد به نفس زیاد نداشته باشه، شخصی که آرزوهایی داره که این آرزوها همه مثلا خیالی هست، فکر میکنه آرزوش هیچ موقع برآورده نمیشه. واقعا excuse me نقطه ضعف‌هایی هست که در زندگی روزانه می‌بینیم واقعا. حالا تو این داستان اینها خیلی خوشبخت هستن. یه شخصی هست که قشنگ یه چیزی میده دستشون میگه تموم شد مشکل شما برآورده شد برطرف شد. ولی در زندگی ما خیلی باید سخت‌تر از اینا کار کنیم که بتونیم اون مشکل رو برطرف کنیم. اما برای بچه‌ها خیلی شروع قشنگی هست به زندگی که یعنی هر مشکلی راه حل داره. این خیلی نکته جالب هست راجع به این. نمیدونم نظر شما چیه؟
خیلی موافقم خیلی موافقم یکی از چیزهای جالبی که این فری تیل یا این قصه پریان ما تو فارسی میگیم فری تیل یا قصه های پریان یکی از ویژگی هایی که این فری تیل داره اینه که یاد میده که اگه یه مشکلی هست نیاز نیست حتما با جادو و مجیک حل بشه، با اینکه یک جادوگر شهر آز هست ولی آخر سر تمام کرکترهای این قصه مشکلاتشون رو از درون خودشون حل میکنن و that's the fantastic part for me and it's really encouraging. منم برگشتم انگلیسی. خیلی خیلی تشویق کننده است.
Absolutely, absolutely. و بله، برای بچه‌هایی که یه مقدار ممکنه سنشون بالاتر باشه متوجه میشن که توی داستان جادوگر یه قلب پلاستیک میده دسته مثلا اون شیر، درسته؟ شیر هست که شجاعت میخواد. جادوگر یه دونه قلب پلاستیک فقط به عنوان یک سیمبل میده دست شیر، ولی به شیره میگه این شجاعت رو خودت همیشه داشتی ولی نمیدونستی. و فکر کنم اینم خیلی نکته بزرگیه که ما هر کدوممون درونمون اونقدر توانایی داریم، اونقدر واقعا حالا شجاعت و نمیدونم مغز و استعداد و اینا که هیچی، اونقدر واقعا پتانسیل داریم ولی یا آماده نیستیم یک کم ریسک بکنیم و اون روی سکه خودمون رو ببینیم if that's the right idiom، یا اینکه اصلا تلاش نکردیم خودمون رو از اون حالت همیشگی در نیاوردیم که بخوایم ببینیم خب من در شرایط جدید چجوری عکس العمل نشون میدم. You know, we can go back to English if you want. If you want.
Yes, sure.
Farsi in English.
Sure.
Give everybody a bit
Yeah.
of a, you know, I can see some people are saying speak English. So it's lovely to see that we all have this tremendous ability inside us, but it only comes out when we are outside of our comfort zone. If we stay in our comfort zone, then everything is the same, our reaction is the same, our progress is the same, there might not even be any progress. And one thing that terrifies me, I don't know about you, one thing that terrifies me about myself is to know that where I am today is exactly the same place I was last year. If I find out that I haven't progressed at all in 1 year, that is the biggest failure for me, for myself. And I find it difficult to look at myself in the mirror. And it's like, what's your excuse, Layla? You're alive. You're, you know, we've given you a brain. Why aren't you using it? You know, this potential. So I really think that even if it means failing and moving backwards, it's still moving. You know, it doesn't have to be progress and moving forward. I don't know if you agree with that.
Exactly. I totally share the same point of view. I have the same fear, and I totally agree with you. The fact that as human beings we always want to improve, and this feeling of improvement is such a rewarding feeling. And on the other side, if we don't get this reward, it kind of is a bummer, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
feel like there's missing.
Yes. I don't know if you, oh, someone says what a lovely and inspiring discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, one thing that I've noticed though, and I'm sure you've picked up on this as well, is the world of social media. Recently, I've had to really stop myself from going and just scrolling endlessly on Instagram because it sucks out all my energy. It just starts making me frustrated for no reason. And I'm constantly seeing these very silly videos, how to make $20,000 in 1 day and how to become a millionaire in 6 months. And I'm like, why are you purposely trying to mislead people? Nobody ever woke up one day and suddenly became a millionaire, even if it's not just money, but any other kind of progress, any other kind of achievement that somebody wants. You can never wake up one day and suddenly have achieved something. It has to come with hard work. And I truly find for myself, this is a very painful lesson that I got, you know, through the years, was that, I mean, Layla's English Lab didn't just happen. It wasn't the first attempt. This was maybe the 7th website that I created in trying to teach English. the very, very beginning, it was Layla's writing lab, and then it was Layla's something else. And, this must be the seventh time that I tried this website. And for now, touch wood, for now, it's been working okay. Again, it's got its little kinks and its little issues as well. But nothing comes to us on a silver platter, overnight. We really have to work for it. And the more we fail, I think, the more we learn. I know a lot of people are afraid of failure, but I've come to, obviously, in the middle of failure, I'm really frustrated, but I've come to really, what's the word I'm looking for? Welcome failure, because I know on the horizon, once I've gone through this difficult moment, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There's a reason why I'm failing. I don't know if this has ever happened
Exactly.
to you. Have you experienced this in any form?
Yes, I totally agree with you. I kind of, it's interesting, it's fascinating to me that like it's also connected to the fairy tale again. You see, the protagonist of the story had the means to go back home all the time. The shoes went in her feet, but she didn't know, and she went through all those struggles and did so many things because if it was easy to just step it and go back home, make $1 million in 1 month or everything, then everyone should have been a millionaire already. We didn't need to. And if there is a secret for a hidden treasure, no one gonna share it that easy to others, isn't it? It's just as simple as it is. They always hide the treasure. So if someone comes and tell me, oh, there is this secret and you can make as much money in this little time, there is something wrong with this. And then this protagonist go through all these struggles and do lots of efforts, and at the end of this journey she learns that she has whatever she wants in herself and then go back home. Then of course we cannot achieve what we want overnight. We have to try, we have to accept failure. I was a PhD student, and when you start PhD, it never ends. The first month you're so encouraged. Yes, I'm going to finish it in 4 years. But then the big struggle starts when you are actually in your fourth year. And the moment you have to write that dissertation, every day is a complication. But if you overcome this struggle, at the end of the day, you will be a دکترای هر چیزی که حالا اسمش بذاریم, you would be a PhD holder, and that would be the reward of you. But this fear of failure is a big problem for many students. Even those who are learning English, they don't speak because they're afraid of failure. They're afraid of making mistakes. And if they forget about this fear and they actually start speaking, the more they speak, the more they learn.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's the basic. Yes.
Yes, yes. Someone says, would you please save this live? Yes, definitely. I'm recording this. This is too valuable. I've got Mahi here and I'm, learning
Thank
from everything you're saying. Thank you so much. So yes, I'm definitely recording this. You touched on something really interesting there. And that was, this is a battle that I guess lots of language learners go through. And that is that I'm too afraid to speak because my English isn't complete yet. Now, I don't know about yourself. Obviously, Farsi is your first language. Would you say that your Farsi is complete right now as a Farsi speaker? Because my English isn't complete as a native English speaker.
you. My Farsi is really bad, especially when I want to write. Every time I'm writing something serious, uh, I have to be very careful about it. I've lived all my life in Iran. Like, it's only been 15 years I'm living outside Iran, but still, every time I want to write something, I say, okay. So, no, you would never, even for native speakers, it's always struggles. There are some struggles. There are some. I always tell my students, do you think this book, Common Mistakes in English, is only written for you language learners? No, many native speakers use this kind of books. This is very normal. Yes.
Absolutely. So the question is this, if I, as a native English speaker, my English isn't complete, How can I expect my second language to be complete? My first language isn't complete yet. So, what I'm trying to say is, I think some people are putting a bit too much pressure on themselves. They're trying to expect a bit too much from themselves, or they're not prepared to risk, a little bit and step out of their comfort zone. Okay, English, I'm not very good at English, but fine, I'll start speaking. They're not going to make fun of me. Even if they do, it's their lack of education. I'm going to start speaking. I just want to know, because you say you've lived in other countries, haven't you, outside of Iran for 15
Yeah.
years? You say you've lived outside
Yes.
Iran. Excuse me. In your experience, not for yourself, but if you have seen someone else speaking English in those other countries and their English wasn't very strong, what is the reaction from the natives of that country towards somebody who speaks broken English? I just want to know. Does anybody make fun of them, or how do the natives react and respond?
I've never encountered any native speaker make fun of someone who is speaking broken English. Never. I even specifically remember there was one professor, Irish professor of ours, who was giving a lecture, and he said, the fact that you're trying to have a native accent is just an extra pressure on yourself. No one expects you to have a native British accent because this is your second language. You're not supposed to. If you can, all the better. But no pressure is on you. You're always gonna be a second. That's gonna be your second language unless you start learning it at age of 4 or younger than that. Other than that, it's not your native language. You can speak as good as possible, which is very nice, very good quality. But this is just extra pressure, and I've never encountered any native speaker with make fun or laugh or try to fix. I've seen um, some language learners who made, been naughty and made fun of each other, but I've never seen a native speaker do that.
Yeah.
But this is just the salt and pepper in this process. And I have to confess, while I was learning English, I remember I was in high school, or no, in my from middle school, راهنمایی, when I was going to English classes, I actually learned so much Farsi during learning English. When I was learning English grammar, to be honest with you, I figure out some of the, actual Farsi grammar during that period. So it can help the other way as well.
Yes, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah. I've come across some people who I don't know if they're trying to help or what it is they're trying to do, but sometimes even if they're trying to help, um, it might not be the best idea to correct somebody in public. I would
True.
find that quite intimidating. I mean, I'm quite a cheeky person anyway. If somebody corrects me in public, I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know. Okay, thanks for letting me know." I'm much, more confident than to be put down by these kind of things. But that's because I don't mind. That's the kind of person I am. But I do know some people will feel very intimidated to be corrected in public. And personally, I don't think it's very nice. If I want to correct first of all, who am I to correct somebody? You yourself know we don't on the street, we never correct other people because that we consider that rude unless, like you and I, we are actually teachers, we are paid, or we this is our job that we correct people. Other than that, we don't normally go around correcting people because that's seen as quite rude, isn't it? What's the culture on this point like in Turkey? I'm guessing that people in Turkey are quite good in their English, but what's this like in Turkey? The culture of it.
Actually, as I told you, I moved quite recently to Turkey. It's just been 3 years for me living here. I've been living in Central Europe for like 10 years. Here, as far as I could see, I've never seen people actually fixing each other, even language learners. Um, I would say the fear of failure is quite strong here, so people try to avoid. But those who actually step out of this fear and they actually start speaking, they're improving very fast. I've never encountered anyone, even here, that they try to fix each other's mistakes. I had students from China, from Central Europe, from India, um, anywhere else. Not as as yes, Iranian students. I can say sometimes among us this is حالا نمیخوام بگم که حتما خیلی کالچر ماست ولی یه ذره خودمون شاید به خودمون سخت میگیریم. آنجاش فارسی گفتم. اگر کسی دیگه غیر ایرانی داره گوش میکنه دیگه بین خودمونه. ولی I've never seen among anyone else. That's my experience. Of course, my experience is limited to the places I've been. So
that's really interesting. And I've heard this from other people as well, that Iranians, they have quite a high expectation from themselves. And I think I would see it as a strength. I know some people see it as a weakness. They say, oh, I'm a perfectionist, it's my weakness. I actually see it as somewhat of a strength, a little bit, as long as it doesn't hurt the person. But someone who thinks that they need to constantly better themselves, a little bit of it, I don't think it's a bad thing, because it just shows that they have so much respect for themselves. It shows that they want whatever it is they're doing and saying to be correct, because they want it done correctly. Other people, other cultures, it might be, I don't care, I'm just going to throw the words in. If they understand, they do. If they don't understand, it's their problem. You do have this as well, don't you, in other cultures? But with Iranians, it's very important to them that when they say something, the listener understands. It's, I think, because of the respect they have for themselves, and because obviously, like I say, they hold themselves to a certain standard, and they want to be able to do the job properly, which I think is really, really good. I wish everybody in the world had this standard, but in doing so, they put a bit of pressure on themselves as well, like you said. Yeah. So just a little bit
very
of
nice
something.
point. Actually, that was an interesting point that you mentioned. Yes, it comes from this caring and protecting culture as well. Just we have to make sure that it comes out in a right way or in the right moment, not to put any feeling of embarrassment in the context.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's very good point.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, lovely. No, thank you. It's already 7:33 here. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap this session up, but I don't know about everybody else in this session. I've really enjoyed talking to you, honestly. And I wish
Always my praise.
during the day, I wish we had more time to catch up,
Me
very
too.
normal things to
Me
do.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Me too.
So for the lovely, lovely followers, this is an example of, as soon as the lovely Mahi joined, as we started by saying, hi, how are you? I heard you had a cold. What's the weather like? Any hobbies? And then gradually we started talking about what Mahi's PhD is about. And that moved on to fairy tales and analyzing a fairy tale and culture. And so we've talked about so many things. And this is the example of a very natural conversation. If we had rehearsed and practiced, you say this, I say that, it wouldn't work, because conversation has to be natural, and you just get to talk about so many different things in a natural conversation. I really, really enjoyed that, Mahi. Thank you so much. So I
Thank you
will.
so much. Thank you so much for this lovely chat. I can never get enough of your beautiful lives. I'm a fan, first of all. I always watch your lives. There's always something for me to learn. So yes,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you. That I really appreciate that. And if ever you have a live session, I'll be one of the first to join that as well. If it's about your PhD or anything, because that's fascinating. It really is. Just to let all of my lovely followers know, this lovely lady Mahi is the lady that I keep talking about. She is the lovely lady who is a teacher with me. We're working on the same team. So if anybody is hoping to learn a bit of English, improve English, any lessons or whatever, please do DM me and I will put you in touch with the lovely Mahi. As you can see, her English is really, really good. And obviously, we've talked to each other a lot before. If I did not believe, if I did not believe in a certain person, I would not recommend them. I recommend Mahi so highly that I brought her live. I've requested that she would come in live and talk, and I have absolutely no doubt at all at the English that she teaches. I've never been in one of her lessons before, but I've spoken to a few of her students, and they're very, very happy. So if you're thinking of English lessons, let me know. This lovely lady will be your teacher, which I think is anybody's dream, just to let everybody know.
Thank you for your kind words. That was very flattering. Thank you.
It's true. It's absolutely true. So thank you very much, Mahi. I look forward to talking to you during the week, obviously, as always. And thank you very much to everybody else who joined in this session. Thank you for all your comments and questions and everything that you asked and said. Much appreciated. All of this has been recorded. It's going to go on YouTube, and I will share the link of the YouTube video on my Instagram story very soon tonight. Thank you, Mahi. Thank you, everybody else. Have a good evening, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Good evening.